We are live. Happy Summerslam 2005. This is the Walkway to Fight Club, August the 20th, 2020. Look at that. 2020. Going to Vegas. Hit that damn roulette table.
And put your money on 20.
Put your money on 20, honey. Did you put money on 20, honey?
No. 20 is not my lucky number. 21. 21 on the other hand. Lucky number.
What? Get out of here. Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. 20 is not your lucky number, Daryl Rivera. Wow. I thought you would be. Do you like how I did that, though? I went 20, 20, 20. I'm pretty impressed. Wait, what is going on here? Whoa, we hit a snafu there. My sincere apologies. But this is the Walkway to Fight Club. I am Stephen Muehlhausen, along with the one and only DY. Daryl Rivera is in the house. And before we get into all the fun stuff, how are you today, my friend?
Doing good. Doing good. Another day of work earlier today. Selling the insurance, typical stuff. Other than that, got home, started watching Summerslam 2005. One of my first ever pay-per-views that I actually remember when I started being a fan.
All right, but I know some people, I clicked the button late. I apologize. We'll do it one more time. I'm Stephen Muehlhausen from Sporting News and DAZN. The man to the right, the handsomest man in Puerto Rico and all the land, combat sports journalist, the one, the only DY, Daryl Rivera. And it is SummerSlam 2005. Happy SummerSlam. Man, we're 2020. Go to Vegas. Put it on 20. Let that shiznit ride, Rivera.
Mm-mm. Not on 20. I'm putting it on 21.
What?
21, my lucky number. What's happening?
Now, why is 21 the lucky number?
Because 2020 hasn't been so good, so let's go for the one after that one.
You know what? I cannot wait till this damn year is over. We'll get into that in 1 second. The reason we are here this evening, we are going to be doing a SummerSlam 2005 watch along. We're not going to, but I did this great. The whole entire show was fantastic.
Look at that.
But people watched, like they all do, for the main event. The first time, the only time, Shawn Michaels stepped into the ring with Hulk Hogan. There's a lot to uncover. How we're going to do this. We're going to give a backstory. We're going to talk about what even led up to this match even happening from the MCI Center in Washington, D.C. But you're like, Steve, the match didn't take place until the 21st. Very true. But you know what? A, SmackDown's on tomorrow night. B, probably not going to watch as much on Fridays. I don't blame you guys. You guys got families and beer and wine, and maybe you got to drink. Maybe you got some reefer to smoke. I don't know. So you know what? We're doing it today. So we thought we would do this. We're going to have some fun. But that's the reason we're doing it today. But We'll talk about what led to the match. We'll talk about what's going on in the business at the time. There's a lot going on in this time. And I even forgot about it. Of everything going on in the business, it was just unreal. I look back at it now and I watch that show, Daryl, and I'm like, damn. It like totally jogged and boggled my mind. And before we'll wait till some more people come on and before we start. You were talking about this was the first pay-per-view you ever watched?
Not the first pay-per-view I ever watched. It's one of the first few. So 2005 marks the first year that I actually became like a consistent wrestling fan. Like I'm watching all the shows, watching all the pay-per-view, following along on the storyline because I started to understand it. Full disclosure, I was 9 years old when this happened. 9. I was 9. Same age, or I think just a little older than Dominic in this pay-per-view.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We will talk about Dominic. That was something.
But it is one of the first ones. It was actually my first experience seeing Hulk Hogan in the ring. I didn't see the Raw beforehand and anything like that. But it was the first one-on-one Hulk Hogan match that I ever saw.
Wow. Now, what had you heard about Hulk Hogan
up to that point? Yes. The greatest of all time. Everybody was a big fan. Hulkamania was running wild in Puerto Rico. Everybody loved him.
Really? Hulkamania was running wild in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, along with Carlos Colon Mania. Everybody loved themselves some Carlos Colon.
I don't know why. I'm kidding. Everybody's
a big fan. He was a promoter, man.
I'm kidding. But that was then. Now, did Hulk Hogan ever? How often in this? I don't know this. So, if anyone's got questions or comments, and we're missing something, leave a question, leave a comment, correct us. It is okay. If you're watching on Facebook, because we're on Facebook Live and we're on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook Live, hey, what's up, dude? Like the Facebook page, follow the page, and also like the post. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and like the video. We've got some negative feedback on the Velveteen Dream. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I texted you. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I've gotten a lot of good feedback. Some of the feedback, fans have let me know that they're defending a pedophile. To each his own. Not our cup of tea. That's not how me and you roll in this day of age. But, hey, there's idiots born every second, I guess. And I hate saying that, but it's the honest-to-God truth. But enough of that. And you could also thank you so much for the NXT the recap show. That's doing okay. So thank you to everyone that's watched the NXT video, the reaction to the news of us thinking Velveteen Dream should be fired from WWE, and also the news about Renee Young departing WWE, which is confirmed she will be gone after Sunday at SummerSlam. So what she's going to do, I don't know, but let's hope and pray for once WWE does the damn right thing and gives her a proper send-off. But I'm not getting my hopes up there. Even though John Moxley got a good send-off, I'm not getting my hopes up. But back to Hulk Hogan, back to SummerSlam 2005. Yeah. So how popular was Hulk Hogan in Puerto Rico? Was he bigger than Carlos Colon?
Bigger than Carlos Colon. That's a tough one. Because the two biggest guys in Puerto Rico, in my opinion, at the time, were Savio Vega and Carlos Colon. Because they were each, in Puerto Rico at the time, they had WWC and IWA competing against each other. And that was a big thing over there. WWE, obviously, people were fans. But Hogan, he was pretty big. He was pretty big to the point where people would dress up like Hogan. Like the T-shirts over there were all over the place. I wasn't the biggest fan. I was more of an HBK guy at the time. But to each his own, like you say. My first memory of Hulk Hogan, I was 5 years old. The steel cage match at WrestleMania 2, the 3-city tour, when he faced King Kong Bundy. Oh my God, it was so cool. I was like, my God, this guy is like larger than. I'm like, oh my God, my dad always tells me, he's like, you were such a geek for Hulk Hogan. Everything I had was Hulk Hogan. Action figures, pillow buddies, sleeping bag. I had a Hulk Hogan and a He-Man sleeping bag. I loved me some Hulkamania. And then I got older. I wised up a little bit. But then when he went heel, turned on Macho Man Randy Savage at Bash at the Beach 96. I was like kid in the candy store. Oh my God, 25-year anniversary. That will be done next year. We'll watch that entire show. I'm excited.
God bless her.
I just saw that show not too long ago either, too. I mean.
All right. before we go any further, since now we're at the 10-minute mark, for everybody that is watching, go to the WWE Network. Go to SummerSlam. They had a nice big thing. There's one thing I like about the network now. The pay-per-view coming up, they got like a section. You don't have to click on pay-per-views. It has a section. You scroll down, it says SummerSlam. You hit an arrow, go to the right, click until you get to SummerSlam 2005. Now you will hit the play button. And please, if you want to turn it up a little bit, you don't want to hear us so much, that's fine. But we're just going to play. We're going to look every so often. We're going to see what's going on. And then we're just going to keep talking about Hogan Michaels and what got us to this point. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Live from Washington, D.C., the MCI Center, the nation's capital, where Bill Clinton had Monica Lewinsky under his desk doing the deed to her, to him. When Hillary walked in, Hillary's like, "Hi, Bill, how's it going? Let's talk about foreign policy." Oh, Hillary. I just had a horrible call. You gotta go. Oh. Hey, Monica there, honey. That was pretty good. You gotta go. Why don't you copy your ass to the copier? Why don't you scan your ass? We'll talk to you later.
This is how we're starting this.
And here is the lovely Lillian Garcia. It is the one thing. And when Lillian first came on the scene, I was not buying Lillian Garcia because I was so used to Howard Finkel. Howard Finkel was my childhood. And it was like you took my childhood and you took it away from me. But
see, I grew up on Lily Garcia.
Mind you, she's hot as hell, too. Does such a great job. Gee. And the sky is not purple.
The sky is actually purple. Look at my apartment window. The sky is purple.
You are a goof. But no, a great job here by Lillian Garcia. Doing an amazing job. An amazing job. Not a surprise, by the way. The crowd's into it in the nation's capital. I like when they do this with her because I always felt like when you do this live, it's a great way to get the show going. Even if you're watching at home, it gets you excited. USA chant, which you can never go wrong with the USA chant. Never, ever, ever, ever. But good way to kick off the show. But man, NWO, I was NWO black and white. Get back to Hulk Hogan here. Good segue from Bill Clinton to Monica Lewinsky, Hillary, then Lillian Garcia to Hulk Hogan. But no, NWO Hollywood, that's what it was all about, man, at the time. Hall, Nash, Hogan, Too Sweet, woo, woo.
Wolfpack.
My 4-year-old does the Too Sweet. It is phenomenal.
Love it.
Taught him well. Oh,
love it.
Loves it. We do it every time before we go to bed. We go Too Sweet, woo, woo.
It's going to be my kid.
You know what I forgot about? And I'm looking at the highlight package here to begin the show. And if you're just jumping in, we are 3 minutes and 8 seconds into SummerSlam 2005. I had forgotten about Randy Orton facing The Undertaker.
Great matchup. Great match. That was in my opinion, that was the rivalry of 2005. In my opinion.
I agree. It was just a good build.
Yeah.
You know, the match was good. There was a big match for Orton. Like the Foley matches got him to that next level.
And that was starting.
Go ahead.
That's the time where like Legend Killer, and that's the time that the Undertaker started being the legend that he was, later in his career, where everybody started describing, oh, he's the legend, Randy Orton's the Legend Killer. That's where the character of like, hey, Undertaker the legend, the WrestleMania streak, that's where it started. That's where it like started gaining momentum and everything. Everybody started paying attention to the streak. everybody started, trying to derail the big guy, the legend. Like nothing, you have to get past the Undertaker to be a star. That's when this started.
You know what gets me mad here, and I forgot about this when I was watching the highlights here, and I was watching it last night. Freaking JBL wrestling Batista for the WWE title. And we'll get into why that happened. It wasn't supposed to be John Bradshaw leave. Even though I hate to see JBL in a title match, I almost puked out my Cheez-Its last night. But this never gets old here. And I'm sitting here watching Hogan. The flexing, you see Michaels with oh my God, that grin. I love the snarky ass Shawn Michaels.
The
heel Shawn Michaels
promo.
Heel Shawn Michaels is godly amazing.
That Montreal promo set it off.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was fantastic. One of his best promos of his entire career.
And that's, and the reason we're talking about him being heel, because that's kind of what you get into this match. And one of the, and Shawn being the heel here. That promo you're talking about reminded me of one of the promos leading into. Look at the fireworks. I can't actually not wait till SmackDown tomorrow to see the Thunderdome. As I spit.
I think I felt that spit through my headphones.
I have been looking forward to this all day. All day. I've had to be with 2 children all day.
There he is.
Yeah, I love you, dude. That kid is my guy, though. I love my 4-year-old. If I'm going to be with 2 children all day, God dang it, it's going to be mine. These 2 are freaking amazing. These are like the coolest 4. And I'm not saying because they're mine. They're literally the coolest 4 and 1-year-olds in the history of life. These kids make it fun. They make this whole dad thing not half bad. There's Hugo Carlos Cabrera.
Carlos Cabrera.
And Michael Cole looks hideous.
What is up with that suit?
Look at
look at Taz. Look at Taz. Taz is like styling and profiling, and then you got Michael Cole in a salmon suit. Get out of here.
How hard is it in Chris Benoit in Orlando Jordan for the U.S. title? How hard is it for you to see this right now?
Very hard. Incredibly hard, just because I was such a big Benoit fan growing up. And I was a big Benoit, Mysterio, and Guerrero were my 3 favorite wrestlers growing up during this time. And stuff like what happened with Eddie was like, damn, that like heartbreaking for a kid. And then you hear the stuff about Chris Benoit, and it's still like at the time I'm like wishing it wasn't true, but at the same time you had to face the reality that it was, and
I agree.
It's one of those things that like it's hard to talk about because obviously it was a tragedy and it was just something a monster would do. But at the same time, in the ring, one of the greatest of all time. Outside of it, no forgiving what he did. No forgiving what he did.
These are, it's hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie, and I agree with you. I remember when all that went down, I was at my buddy's house and his now ex-wife. And we're sitting there having some beers, and watching I would go there every Monday. I go to his house, he'd come to mine, and you see Vince McMahon in the middle of the ring beginning Raw, and you're like, what the hell's going on? And by God, look at Orlando Jordan's hair here. A member of the cabinet of John Bradshaw Layfield. I do love Chris. As a talent, there's no one. Benoit was on another level at the time. Woo! German suplex. Boom. There's another German. Oh, crossface. See you later. Tap out like a little biatch. Yeah, I did say biatch. And 3. And tap out a record-breaking time. A new United States champion.
as he's holding the belt upside down.
We're not going to do star ratings, by the way. And some of the information we will have this evening will be from PW Torch. Wade Keller has I used to be a long time subscriber to the Torch, and then I just stopped. And recently I resubscribed, and because I knew we were going to do this, so I did it a couple weeks ago. And they got a good sale right now, guys. And they're not paying me to say this, but I just think it's cool. If you subscribe by the end of August, you get a month for 99 cents. Actually, it's $1, but it's pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. So some of the info we will be getting, we will cite Wade Keller and his PW Torch newsletter. Jimmy Corderas had the belt before he tapped out. That was hilarious. He knew it was over. Chris Benoit, the United States champion. The new United States champion.
It's over. Just ring the bell. Bring the streamers. It's over.
But you see Michaels, the promos, some of the promos he did leading up to this match with Hogan reminds me of that snarky 90s, 97, early 98. It really did. And you know what? I freaking loved it. Loved it. I did. Not going to lie. I thought it was freaking great.
How could you not? Especially for something like this when everything he did was magic, especially in Montreal. He's hated in Montreal. Shawn Michaels is loved throughout the entire WWE universe except in Montreal. That's the one town that still to this day probably hates him. And now, he just played them like a fiddle.
Now, I'm sitting here watching. We got Vicky Guerrero here with Eddie Guerrero. And this got me sad. And this is why. This is the second to last pay-per-view match ever for Eddie Guerrero. That got me sad. I'm not going to lie.
Rey Mysterio has, in an interview, has said that this is by far his favorite match of all time that he's ever been a part of. Just because it was the last pay-per-view match, last singles match that he ever had with Eddie Guerrero.
Now, the context here in the skit is she thinks Eddie's full of it, and he's whining down because the match he has, it's a ladder match with Ray for the custody of Dominic. It's like a briefcase on a ladder with custody papers of Dominic.
Man, 2005 was wild.
She's trying to tell him that he isn't doing it for Dominic; he's doing it to hurt Eddie. So, that is the premise of the match. For people that don't know, which I think, to me, that's pretty cool. It's like you said, 2005, like you would not seriously get this. No. Now. Not even close. They're too afraid to push that scope. And you look back at this time, you look at 97, you look at 2005, my God, they're still I love it. The fact that you kind of kept things the same. You had the demographic, but you noticed a shift in the business at this time. You're starting to see it a little bit. This goes John Cena was really starting to get into his own. They were starting to go more back towards that side of the aisle. And God, Eddie Guerrero was such a great heel. But then you look at Michaels retired in 98 due to the back injury after he lost to Steve Austin. Lost the WWE title. Will come in here and there, had back surgery in the beginning half of 99. Did not wrestle until 2002. Made his return against Triple H in SummerSlam 222, which we will cover sometime in the future. And, but at this point, he'd won the World Heavyweight title at Survivor Series. I think this was cool too. Before we continue. The military people there. To me, that's pretty cool. Washington D.C. You should have some of the troops there. So I think that's pretty awesome. Everyone that has jumped in at this point, we are at the 1340 mark. SummerSlam 2005. We are about to see the Rated R Superstar. Edge and God dang Lita and Matt Hardy. Now, this is where we can
backstory to this rivalry.
The backstory here, and this is all, and I want to make sure I have everything right here. Okay. Matt Hardy was released before the summer of 2005. Him and Lita were dating. They were together for over 6 years. Matt Hardy was out with a neck injury. She went and cheated on him with Edge. Matt
was also married as well.
And Matt was married, and Adam Copeland, Edge, was married at the time. So listen to this. Val Venus' sister. Oh my God. That crap only writes itself. Hardy, obviously upset, goes on every internet platform, radio platform, and just buries them. The both of them to smithereens. Hardy got released. Then Hardy went everywhere. Hardy went to all the indies, and the top indie he went to was Ring of Honor. In the July 23rd Torch, Matt Hardy wrestled for Ring of Honor. And listen to this. Beat Christopher Daniels. That was the July 23rd edition of the Torch. The July 30th edition. 1 week later, Matt Hardy returns. Vince McMahon brought him back. He wanted Edge. He wanted a match at SummerSlam. And by golly, Vince McMahon was going to give them. Because Vince McMahon, ladies and gentlemen, does what the fans want. I'm kidding, by the way, in that aspect.
I was going to say, that sounded pretty serious there.
Now, there's a story. Matt Hardy, when he was on his indie run, I used to work at a place called the Oak Lawn Pavilion. Obviously in Oak Lawn, Illinois. And they used, during the summer, they would hold during the year 2 independent wrestling shows. He was at one of them, and I saw him in the weight room. He was working out and just lifting. He was with some really hot chick. I was like, man, she's banging. I was like, whoo-wee. It was moving. I'll put it that way. And he's sitting there just talking. I'm like, oh, but he's like, do you watch? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a big fan of you. I give you a lot of credit for, I've been through that. I completely understand what you want, what you're going through. I'm like, I've been there. And then I had to ask. I'm like, you gonna go back? It was that old nod and a wink. Then he said no. I was like, okay. I'm like, I know you're gonna come. Okay, cool. And then lo and behold, he came. Look at Lita here. If that does not give you some excitement in your life, I do not know what to tell you.
I always remember.
She looks amazing.
I remember.
She looks.
And I'm sure.
Look at her. Come on. You cannot sit here and tell me.
Oh, definitely not.
Look at Lita right now. We're at the 1734 mark. Lita is strutting that ass. I wonder if she called Edge the rated R superstar in bed.
I mean, we can check the live sex celebration they had on Raw. Maybe they have it there.
Oh, that was great. Talk about it. That was like the last risque thing we've seen on WWE TV.
Yeah, we can't go anymore.
She looked. Oh my God, she had it going on. Okay. Woo! Almost 40. I got a easy big guy. We need to get Blue Chew as a sponsor.
Yeah.
I know the guy. I need to talk to him. But,
sponsored by Blue Chew.
They're not even in. Glenn, what's up, man? Hopefully you're watching. I forget where we're even going here.
We were talking.
But no, Michaels won the World Heavyweight title at Survivor Series 2002. But then he was just having matches. He was having matches with Ric Flair and triple threat match WrestleMania 20 with Benoit and Triple H, that match was amazing. I mean, then leading into the beginning of 2005, you look at Hulk Hogan's run. And the NWO in 96. Then he was out of there by 2000. That whole angle with Vince Russo. Already a wild brawl.
Yeah.
Crowd very much into Matt Hardy here. And such a shame. And we'll talk about it when the match is over. But no, good heart. I liked it. They were hitting each other pretty stiff. I imagine there were a couple liberties taken here. I'm just gonna venture a guess.
Easily.
If you cannot tell, I don't know what to tell you. But
there's one. There's another.
Oh, look at Edger.
And another. And another.
1955 mark, Edge and Matt Hardy. This is Stephen Muehlhausen from DAZN and Sporting News. To the right is DY Daryl Rivera, combat sports journalist extraordinaire. We are doing the watch along. As you can see at the scroll at the bottom, SummerSlam 2005, Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. Watch along. We are going to do a watch along, a blow by blow of the main event of the show, but we're just giving a backstory here while we have the show on, just so we can kind of look every so often. We can sit and talk about what led up to the epic main event. The first time and the only time that Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan were in the ring together. God, look at what Lita's wearing here, man. That's something.
Steve, you got a little some drool.
That's some good stuff.
Need one?
Some good stuff. I'm and everyone just say, "Oh, you're a scumbag." I'm happily married, by the way. I am in love with my wife very much. But when you got to call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Well, look at Matt Hardy here swinging away.
I just want to know how did neither of these guys get a knockout win earlier on? Because look at those elbows.
These blows have to hurt. I'm sorry. These blows have to hurt. I'm sorry. You cannot convince my butt otherwise. Well, I know, right? You can't convince me otherwise. Cannot convince me otherwise.
By the way, back to the Matt Hardy coming back. Didn't Vince McMahon sign him one day before his non-compete clause was over? If I heard correctly.
That is.
Because there was a certain company that started with a T, ended with an A.
They were interested, yes.
TNA
was interested, yeah.
And had his high-flying brother as one of their main roster guys as well.
That is true. That is true. But, you look at Hogan. Hogan left WCW in 2000 with the shoot interview done by Vince Russo at the Bash at the Beach 2000. And then you really didn't see that, Hogan had the thing he was going to do, did the short-lived XWF, did a match with Kurt Hennig, and then WWE gave him a call, and he came back with the NWO at No Way Out 2002, an epic match with The Rock, hit a short run, and then that ended over his payoff. Surprise, surprise. Talking about Hulk Hogan, and you're talking about money. I don't agree with that, brother. He did the job for Brock, and we did not then see Hulk Hogan until January of 2003. Did the long-awaited program, which I thought was pretty well done with Vince McMahon, culminated at a great to me, I thought exceeded my expectations. WrestleMania 2001. Look at Matt Hardy. Woo-hoo! He is bloodier. He is
Jesus.
He is worse for wear. He is bleeding like a stuffed pig. Oh, they kicked it at. I'm telling you. I think they had a little extra oomph. Now, see, I did not like this finish. And Chad Patton waves it off. No. This finish was horrible. It's the first match in this series. They did like 4 matches. No, it was a series of 3. I take that back. Because then Hardy won at Unforgiven, and then Edge won. It was like the Raw Homecoming or something.
It was Raw Homecoming.
Where I always will remember that Raw for one reason only. where Hulk Hogan went into a business for himself and challenged Steve Austin to a match at WrestleMania. I always will remember that because that was something discussed. Austin was thinking about it, and Hulk Hogan just went and laid down the gauntlet. Want Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. But man, look at Matt Hardy here. Whew. Bleeding like a stuffed pig. You're a winner. The Rated R Superstar.
Did you see that? He's checking his hand. He's like, I think I hit him too hard.
Edge was such an awesome heel. He was amazing. Amazing. So Hogan has a great match with Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 19 in Seattle, 2003. Has a program. Then he becomes Mr. America. Has a couple horrible matches with her, and I mean horrible. If you are looking to cure your insomnia, ladies and gentlemen, please watch Hulk Hogan's matches in 2003 with Roddy Piper. If you're having a hard time sleeping, that is where you go. And I'm not kidding. If you don't believe me, give it a whirl. Ooh, look at Matt Hardy there. Ooh. I don't think Matt was getting any that evening.
I mean, based on what you said about the girl that was with him.
Oh my God, she was good looking blonde.
That last kick. Jesus.
I felt that one. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Poor Matt Hardy. I kind of almost feel bad for Matt Hardy. Actually, I do. I don't condone cheating. Cheating is wrong.
I felt bad for Matt Hardy this entire angle. And I was 9.
I think Matt Hardy got hosed on that one.
How do you bring him back from a cheating angle so he can get revenge on Edge, but yeah, you have the heel one? WWE.
WWE at its finest. This is the look at the scroll. SummerSlam 2005. Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. Watch along. Just giving the backstory. We have it on. The show is on. We are at the 26:45 mark. We're getting ready for Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. The custody for Dominic Mysterio, who we will see this coming Sunday at SummerSlam against Seth Rollins. And we will also have our SummerSlam preview show on Sunday morning, the day of the show, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, and 8 a.m. Pacific. My Las Vegas, Phoenix, and California homies. You wake up, grab the coffee, and look at me and Daryl's pretty faces. Or at least Daryl's pretty face. What are you drinking there?
Coke.
Me too. We're getting along too much here.
Cheers.
Getting along way too much here, these last 2 shows. I don't like it. You got to do something to get me mad. You're agreeing with me too much.
It took me a minute and a half last night to get you to curse.
And then we started getting along. Then we got along, and everything was fine after that.
I mean, we both agreed the main event sucked. The promo between McAfee and Cole was awesome. What else is there to disagree?
That is true. And we agreed on all the NXT TakeOver 30 picks, which will be on the YouTube channel tomorrow. But no, this angle was extremely well done. But let's see.
What, the custody of Dominic?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was it was a wild time in the WWE.
Look at young Dominic here. Wow. Man, short little guy with the blonde tips. Were you a blonde tip kid?
No.
I wasn't either. I always got
a haircut. Just always had a buzz cut.
I wanted to punch the kids that had those. I hated them. hated him with a passion.
Yeah,
But continuing on with the immortal Hulk Hogan. After the awesome, greatest program of all time with is Mr. America against Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan left the company again at the end of June 2005, 2003, because surprise, surprise, did not like his WrestleMania payoff from his match with Vince McMahon. Hogan left, and Hogan was not seen through the rest of 2004, it looked like he was going to TNA. He shot an angle with Jeff Jarrett in Japan, with the premise being they would have a match at Bound for Glory in 2004. In October 2004, things fell apart over, surprise, money.
Money.
There's a theme here when it comes to Hulk Hogan, as much as I love Hogan. And then he got in, then we get into 2005, and Shawn Michaels is rocking and rolling in WWE. He's getting into WrestleMania 21, getting ready to face Kurt Angle, and Hulk Hogan gets inducted into the 2005 WWE Hall of Fame. Now, I'm going to give you some trivia. Fans, and for Daryl, name me who was in the 2005 WWE Hall of Fame. And you cannot say Hulk Hogan. We will read your picks on air. Beyond Hulk Hogan, and you cannot cheat. Who was in the WWE? Who were the 2005 inductees into the WWE Hall of Fame?
Can I say him now, or do I have to wait until later?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Iron Sheik.
Very good.
Paul Orndorff.
Very good.
Bobby Heenan.
No. Bobby Heenan was 2004.
Gorilla Monsoon.
No.
Roddy Piper.
There you go. Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Roddy Piper.
Who
Iron
inducted?
Sheik.
I'll give you those, and we'll go on. Who inducted? Hey, there was one more that you should get. There's one more. He was also involved in the WrestleMania 1 main event. God, Eddie Guerrero was so awesome.
I thought I already said Paul Orndorff.
Who was in the corner of Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper?
Jimmy Hart.
No.
I can't remember.
Killing
that. I can't. I'm having a
Bob
blank.
Orton. Bob Orton.
Cowboy Bob Orton.
Cowboy Bob Orton.
I remember he had. There's a reason he was like involved in that Anglevers with Orton and Taker. It was right there. I just couldn't remember it.
Cowboy Bob Orton.
His most memorable angle happened after he was inducted. Man, look at that. Dominic's in the crowd at this man. Wow.
Is this lady supposed to be like the social worker? I was trying to figure this out. I'm watching this last night, and I'm like, who is this lady with this weird look on her face? Look at her. Dominic did so well here. So well at 8 years old. He is at 8 years old right there.
Kid was born for the business.
Better than 3/4 of that roster right now. Expressions. And he's 8. What does that say for the people? Holy shoot. Good goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Listen,
look at him. That poor kid's about to cry. He's doing it so good, and Eddie's got that jackass look on his face. Oh my God, this is great.
Why are we laughing at a kid crying on TV?
We shouldn't. We shouldn't. Talking about babies.
By the way,
look at this. Look at this
him.
Kid.
Look at
Nate Muehlhausen. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Nate?
You say hi to Daryl. Hi. You say hi?
I think this is unprecedented, ladies and gentlemen. The debut in the podcast world of Nate Muehlhausen. There it is.
That kid is seriously first world handsome, first world sweet, but a third world sleeper. So horrible. I love him to death. Kid can't sleep for crap. But I will give him, after he cried last night during the last 30 minutes of our podcast, he went back to sleep. He just needed he needed his dad. That's all he
just needed to get tucked in. Little story time and all set to go.
No, he needed his pants changed and a cuddle. He is a cuddle bug, that one. He is a cuddle buggy machine. And I love him for it. But look at this here, the father and son. God, that face. God, how does it boggles my mind here. And I didn't know, and I thought about it a little bit last night. An 8-year-old should not have that awesome facial expressions.
No.
I wonder what they said to him in the back. Be like, just pretend like your dad's going to leave you. That would just be mean.
Or Vince McMahon probably told him, hey, your dad's going to leave you forever. And then he just there. Throw him out there.
I don't know. I don't know how I would feel if someone told me, hey, your dad. I just don't know how I would feel. I don't know.
Man, Eddie was just a true heel, man.
I don't know if I would cry or what. I think I would cry.
I think so. At 8 years old, when that's happening, yeah, I would cry.
If someone tells me, hey, your dad's gonna... You cannot do nothing but cry. Come on. You have to cry. No, we are at... We've had people jumping in. 36-25 mark. SummerSlam. 2005. We're at Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero. All were culminating to the gigantic matchup between Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels. We're giving the back, so we're at 2005. And he's like, come on, Eddie. Eddie's like, come on, Ray. Let's go have some cervezas.
I could go for a cerveza.
After I kick your ass and I get your son, well, you can have beers. Just everyone played their role really well here.
Yeah.
I have to admit. it.
It's stuff. It's matches like these that make me miss Eddie Guerrero more and more. Because I'm like, and then the rumor that he was going to go face Shawn Michaels in WrestleMania 22. How awesome would that have been?
That would have been amazing. You know what's tragic? I just found out they canceled my son's preschool. That's tragic.
That is tragic.
I got a fun. I canceled him earlier today. We canceled him, and we're getting full refund. I got a funny story about that. Oh, what a back body drop! Eddie Guerrero takes a hell of a bump. I don't even know where I was going to go. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It was something funny my kid said, and we'll talk about that. Oh, right. But so you're at WrestleMania. They're both there. Michaels is getting ready for his match with Kurt Angle. Hogan gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. Who inducted Hulk Hogan into the 2005 Hall of Fame?
Sylvester Stallone.
There you go. Ding, ding, ding. Daryl Rivera. It was
Rocky Balboa, baby.
Favorite Rocky.
Favorite Rocky movie?
Were you a fan? Before we get in, were you a fan of Rocky 3?
I was a big fan of Rocky 3, yeah.
For everyone tuning in, were you a fan of Rocky 3? Were you a fan of Rocky 3, or did you have another favorite Rocky? Rocky
4 was my favorite.
For me, it was Rocky 4, Rocky 1, because you always go with the first one. The first one's amazing. And then Rocky 3. I'm sorry, but when you give me some Thunder Lips and Clubber Lang, I'm good. Ooh. Ow. that looked like it hurt. That sure like it left a mark. And Eddie Guerrero falling off the ladder. But, so, get back to the story.
As you have Matt Hardy's blood all over the canvas.
Right? This Dave AJ would have cleaned it up already. Come on, WWE crew. So I called to cancel my son's preschool today, take him out of preschool today. And then just to find out, we get an email, my wife Lynn checked her email when she got to work and realized, oh, they canceled it. He goes in like, buddy, like we had told him yesterday. I'm like, oh, buddy, I'm just letting you know, like I officially canceled you for preschool. I'm like, you said? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, it'll be okay though. And I'm like, well, we'll figure out something. He's like, Daddy, he's like, was it because of the big fat guy that we always see on the news, always talking about the bad stuff going on? And I want to preface this in saying we're a non-political household. We watch the news every day because we both believe in watching the news and what's going on in the world. We feel like you should know. Yeah. We want to teach our kids that there is good and bad in the world, but we just tell them what's bad. We don't talk politics around him. We keep that to our own personal conversation. And I'm like, yeah, buddy. I'm like, is the big fat guy you see on TV? I'm like, he's the one that, kept making things more hard for you guys to be able to go to preschool. He's like, I don't like him, Dada. I'm like, it's okay, man. I'm like, it's not a big deal. I'm like, we'll do some stuff at home. And he's like, and this was the kicker. And he ended it. He's like, can you punch the big fat guy? And if you don't know who the big fat guy is, that my son keeps referring to, it is Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. I'm not going to go on a political rant. He is a jackass. And he did take away my son going away from preschool. And a lot of other kids who now have to e-learn that want to be with their friends at school, even if it means social distancing. And we're losing viewers, and that's okay. They will come back. But off of that. But look at right here, they're both on top of the ladder. But I had to say though, I just laughed. The big fat guy. I say nothing about JB Pritzker when he's on. I was like, oh.
It's because of the big fat guy.
And no, we're not talking about Santa Claus.
And a botch.
Ooh. Not the only botch we've seen in this match, unfortunately. There'll be one coming up later on.
The one coming up was funny as hell, though.
So we get to the ceremony, the Hall of Fame ceremony. Michaels goes out and has before then. So Muhammad Hassan and Daivari come out for a segment, and Muhammad Hassan's cutting a promo and they're talking Arabic, and out comes the immortal Hulk Hogan. Hogan comes down, strutting his stuff. Couple punches, toss over the top. Thinking, okay, cool. He's there. Why not? Get the crowd at the Staples Center in LA all jazzed up. I'm thinking, cool. But what do we get? 1 month later at Backlash, we see the dream team of Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan beating up Daivari and Muhammad Hassan. Which did Muhammad Hassan, I thought at the time, no favors, but it ended up working out for him for a short time. Do you remember the Hulkster and the Heartbreak Kid tag teaming?
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
It was. Didn't they tag team one more time before?
They tag team on a Raw.
Yeah.
Think about that. Celebrating the 4th of July. It's the July 4th edition of Raw. I think it was like the Raw was on July 3rd. It was like the day before the 4th. And, that hurt. Yeah. And I forget who did they beat. I don't remember who they beat. I don't have it written down in front of me. But it was in Sacramento when Michaels and Hogan teamed up on Raw.
It was Kurt Angle and either Muhammad Hassan or Daivari.
Okay. Michaels and Hogan win the match. And then they're holding up. Yeah, brother. What do we get? Bam! Sweet chin music. I clapped. I screamed, hell yeah. Because at that time, I was still watching most Monday nights, man, up until the end of 2006. I was still watching Raw every Monday with some buddies.
Yep.
And it was pretty cool. And we all cheered. We all popped. We thought it was awesome. And there goes Eddie climbing to the ladder. And here comes, look at Rey Mysterio fighting for, wants to make sure Dominic is okay. Like the match up to this point, it starts to pick up about, they're picking up the pace here. These spots are always dangerous. I just wish they wouldn't do these.
Jesus.
Back body drop. Ray falls in between the ladders. Why are we doing this? Why? Why? Oh, why?
We need to do a watch along of a DVD called ECW's Most Violent Matches.
We can do
that DVD alone.
One more time. Oh, the back. Oh, my goodness.
That DVD made me a fan of ECW because it was just so. I've never seen anything so chaotic in my life. I'm like, oh my god.
It's one of these things here where I've heard of it. Is it on the network?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we'll have to. Let's see here. According to this, going back to the Hardy, in the August 27, 2005 edition of the PW Torch Wrestling Newsletter. I got it here. Matt Hardy is said to be showing signs of frustration with how his push is going. He may not have realized the extent to which he was going to be considered a mid-card average talent by those in control of his push, or how little he'd be allowed to trip up before his push was reduced. He didn't get much of a chance to prove himself, as management believed his promo on Raw several weeks ago was mediocre and ample evidence that they were right all along, that he lacks verbal skills and is an average talent who someday may move up the card. Management believes more in Edge and is going to play out the feud in a way where Edge comes out of it strong. Top priority isn't on that aspect, and a distant second priority is protecting Hardy. When Hardy re-signed with WWE, he told people that he felt Vince McMahon believed in him and that they were on the same page as far as how to take best advantage of his potential. He did not re-sign with WWE with any thought he would be buried right off the bat, so he either misinterpreted his interaction with McMahon or they misrepresented their intentions in order to let him go, to get him to resign. Yeah, so if you want to get your view on that, then we kind of not a surprise.
Look at who's in the ring.
What is with this? It's like, what are you doing? Why, Dominic?
Huh.
Listen here, Dominic. What are you doing, son?
You imagine the shitstorm the SHIT storm WWE would have had if Eddie just picks him up and just threw amigos him in the middle of the ring. Heel Eddie hit Dominic with a suplex. And a back body drop. Okay. Jesus, that was loud.
How dare he hit his son? Why would you do that? I don't think anyone can honestly hit their children.
No.
I don't think so. Let's see here. Ooh. So, as we're getting to July 20, so you figure you get to July 2005, you get the super kick from hell. Now the match is going to be on. And it is official. Hulk Hogan would be facing Shawn Michaels in SummerSlam 2005. The show we are watching, by the way. And you're thinking, okay, two baby faces. This is going to be cool. You have to think. And you think in your mind. You're like, all right, cool. Like, we're each going to face versus face. It is what it is, but you know what? It'll still be good. But as we get into August of 2006, Chris Jericho, it's revealed, is according to the Torch, he signed a short-term extension on July 25th because his contract had run out, and he signed a short-term extension for 30 days, which would end as he would be facing John Cena on the SummerSlam show. So Chris Jericho was looking for some time off. He did WWE a solid and stayed through SummerSlam. He signed a short-term deal. Nice power bomb there by Rey Mysterio. Now,
something else that was going on. Wasn't Chris Jericho supposed to face Carlito for the Intercontinental title instead of Cena?
That I do not know.
Okay.
Do not know.
Yeah, I heard that was one of the things that was going on. But Jericho, since he was leaving, wanted to put over somebody. So he decided, hey, I want to put over Cena. Vince went with it, and no intercontinental title match at SummerSlam.
Okay. Also going on in the business at this time, and he thought he had it. No, he's hanging on. These stuff's also so dangerous. Hanging on the ladder with the briefcase. Oh,
Jesus!
Beautiful powerbomb by Eddie Guerrero. Brock Lesnar rejected an offer to return to the company, according to the Torch. Brock Lesnar and WWE were unable to come to terms on this go-around in negotiations. They had met about the previous month about coming back to the company. WWE.com reported Lesnar had a contract in hand. Lesnar and his attorney had been given a written offer roughly 2 weeks ago. WWE management grew impatient with how long it was taking him to sign it. Apparently, the major terms of the contract had been verbally agreed to Tuesday of this week. Lesnar either changed his mind or didn't like the written details of what he had verbally agreed 2 weeks earlier. Lesnar may not be back anytime soon. He almost has no leverage with WWE, considering he signed a multi-year non-compete with WWE last year, preventing him from working for any other pro wrestling or mixed martial arts company. Now, what happened with that was he ended up getting out of that non-compete. He took them to court. He sued them, and he ended up winning. So what ended up happening out of that? He was supposed to come back. He didn't like the money terms and the dates that were agreed upon. He said pound sand. He bet on himself, and if I do dare say, Brock Lesnar ended up being just fine. Look at Eddie here. Now, see, this is where I think, this is where it seems like something happened. I think this is where Vicky Guerrero was supposed to come out here.
This is where Vicky Mr. Q. So this entire thing by Ray,
improvised.
Ray improvised this entire segment, or this entire 5 seconds, just because Vicky Mr. Q. Vicky was supposed to come off and push Eddie push the ladder away from Eddie, so Ray could get up there and get the title or the custody papers.
Now, Hogan at this time is doing media rounds. He is appearing all over the place to promote the match.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt real quick, but if you're watching at home and you hear the bleep and the censoring here, it's Eddie screaming, where the F was Vicky?
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, when he starts slamming the ring, he starts asking, where the F is Vicky? Still super pissed about it.
I'm not gonna say what I want to say because it would come off like horribly sexist. I don't want to be that guy. I really don't. I don't want to be that guy. The 3MB, always a great move. The 3MB goes.
Oh,
can't eat on the ladder. Look at Dominic.
Right on the ladder.
Dominic's like, what is going on? Where's my mommy? But yeah, Hogan's all over the place here promoting the match. He's on Larry King. He's on Jimmy Kimmel. You know, I'll give Hogan credit. Hogan made the media rounds here to really, really promote the match. He disparaged Michaels at every chance he got, though, which I don't know if it's part of how Hogan really felt. Let's see. This is what he said on his interview with Jimmy Kimmel. Hogan said that his dream match against Michaels at SummerSlam is like a dream match for wrestling fans because Hogan is like the old generation, while Michaels is, as Hogan put it, the guy who tried to pick up the ball and carry it after me. And that didn't work out so well for him. But, you know, he tried his best, and there always has been jealousy factor from him. I promise it gets a lot better. There's a great Vicky finally made it to the ring.
It took her a while.
Welcome, Vicky. Right? It took her a hot second. But she finally made it to the ring.
That was supposed to happen about. That was supposed to happen about 5 minutes before it actually happened.
Now, August 13th. Oh yeah, look at Vicky. Oh no! Here, come here, buddy. Let me see that. Come here. Come here. Yeah, you're not supposed to have that in your hand. Come here. Come here. It's like you're talking to a dog. He's actually listening though.
What does he have?
Thank you. A plastic bag. Something you don't want children to have.
No.
No, not yours. No. Here you go. Here. Oh, you don't want your block? Okay.
And Mysterio has it.
Oh.
And he wins.
Hey, he gets Dominic. Woohoo!
And he almost blew out his knee landing from getting the briefcase.
Stupid. Now, the August 13th, 2005 edition of The Torch. Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan in a beautiful brouhaha. Shawn Michaels let loose on Hulk Hogan with strong comments in the final segment on this week's Raw. Michaels sarcastically thanked Hogan for gracing them with his presence, mocking his busy schedule promoting his reality show. In response to allegations Hogan made on Larry King Live that Michaels is jealous of him, Michaels said, "There's nothing about you or your life that I desire. In this ring, you can't touch me." He said perhaps he was upset that one of his peers had not respected him or his accomplishments. Hulk Hogan is not one of my peers, Michaels said. You, Hulk Hogan, have built a career on personality and show. I want you to look at me in the eyes and understand this, Hulk Hogan. At SummerSlam, personality and show isn't going to amount to a hill of beans when you step into the ring with the showstopper. For the first time in your career, you're dealing with somebody who doesn't sweat you. Not out here, not back there, not anywhere. I'm going to be the first guy who is not going to buckle underneath the image of Hulk Hogan in Hulkamania. I've said it before and I'll say it again. What are they going to do? Fire me? Do you know how many times I've been fired from this place? It gets better, ladies and gentlemen. They always bring me back, and I'll tell you why. This big machine that is WWE does not exist without the showstopper. Michaels vowed to kick Hogan's false teeth down his throat. Hogan interrupted and said, "Let me tell you something. You've taken this thing to a whole new level, dude. If you wanted a match with me, all you had to do was ask. But instead, you cheap shotted me. But that is your MO. The king of cheap shots and backstabbing. As far as casting stones, all I have to do is call up Bret Hart. Everything you do out here is for you, for Shawn Michaels. When did you leave WWE? When you did leave WWE for 7 years, you said you lost your smile. I'm not out here for my smile. I'm out here for their smile, dude.
Sounds corny.
Yeah, for better or for worse, I'm here for each of one of these Hulkamaniacs. And Hulk Hogan isn't going to change, dude. Michaels then super kicked Jerry Lawler, punched Hogan. Hogan tossed Michaels out in post. Remember that segment like it was yesterday. And look at Chris Jericho here. That blue, beautiful, flowing, short hair. That has got to be the worst Chris Jericho haircut I've ever seen.
That one?
Yeah.
Do you remember his debut haircut?
He had the long, flowing hair. Look great. It's got the hair he's got.
Had like the palm tree on top of that as well. Not a big fan
absolutely. Absolutely. Loved it. But right here, look at Todd Grisham. Now I can say Todd Grisham is my friend. The DAZN colleague. Todd Grisham.
Good dude.
What?
Look at you.
Oh,
hey, I didn't mind. I didn't mind Todd Grisham.
Look at you bragging, name dropping. No, Todd Grisham is a buddy of mine. And I'm proud to say Todd Grisham is my friend.
Todd Grisham was great. I liked him backstage. He always had that face that, like, he always knew exactly what to ask, how to ask it, and what facial expression to have at all times. People don't appreciate, the backstage interviewers as much as they used to back then. Just because back then that could kill and make or kill it. Remember Kevin Kelly when he used to interview The Rock?
God, I love Kevin Kelly.
That was great stuff. He's like, "Were you picking your nose in front of the Rock's locker room? Pick it. Pick your nose. Stick it in, Herbie."
Look at Grisham. I think Todd Grisham here looks like he's about 12.
Yeah.
And I'm going to text Todd after we're done. Like, God, I'm watching SummerSlam 2005, and you look like you're interviewing Jericho here, and you look like you are 12. I will say this. Todd Grisham is a very well-versed guy because he went from WWE to the UFC to Glory Kickboxing and is now doing boxing for DAZN. And he did boxing for ESPN for a hot minute. Here is Eugene and the beautiful and the sexy
Christy Hemme.
There's a whole lot I love about Christy Hemme.
I liked her better when she was in TNA.
I love her TNA too. Oh yeah. I was a fan of Eugene. And then for everyone jumping in and watching, we're at the 1 hour and 2 minute mark, 22 seconds. Eugene is about to face the great Kurt Angle. God, how did Kurt Angle get the short straw in this situation? And I hate saying it.
At the time, I liked the storyline as a kid. I was a fan.
I was a Eugene fan. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle's the man. Come on.
Yeah.
But
in my opinion, one of the best wrestlers.
Yeah, so with that promo, the promo was there. And I remember that promo so vividly. It was one of those promos to where it's like, like Hogan wanted, and this is kind of where things kind of got a little bit loopy. And this is also according to the Torch. Michaels wanted to have a private in-ring practice session with Hogan before SummerSlam. Hogan turned it down because he said his body can only take so much physical wear and tear at this point in his life. He doesn't want to waste any bumps when it's not for money or in front of a crowd. As a compromise, Hogan worked a 6-man tag match after Raw in Pittsburgh on Monday with Michaels on the opposing team. This week on Raw, Michaels gave a glimpse of his strategy for wrestling the largely immobile Hogan. He created a movement in response to Hogan going through limited motions of throwing him around. Oh, it gets better. Also, according to the Torch, besides wanting Michaels to super kick his son, Nick Hogan, Hogan also suggested Michaels make disparaging remarks about his daughter, Brooke. Michaels also turned down that idea. One source who knows says, "Hey, dude, thanks, man. Oh, you can have that remote. Go ahead, pal. You can have it." Kids love remotes, man.
They like having control.
Exactly. One source who knows says Michaels doesn't like Hogan. He believed Michaels was going to stick it to Hogan on Raw this week in their face-to-face segment, which he did. Let's see.
Oh, sorry. Just want to say I love the fact that Kurt Angle literally just came in and absolutely pimp slapped the hell out of Eugene. Just waltz in. Eugene's like, "Hey, boom!
Here comes the boom!" God,
Poor Eugene.
Look at the shape Kurt Angle's in here. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. And also, Bret Hart returning to WWE, going to be doing DVD, in a DVD of his career. Whoever thought we would hear Bret Hart coming back to the ring? When I heard this, I was like, heck yeah. I was never the biggest Bret Hart fan. Not gonna lie. The only reason why I wasn't, because my best friend ran him into the ground. Bret Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. I'm like, dude, took my fandom away. I love the Hitman. To me, real men wear pink. The pink and black attack of the Hitman.
The glasses.
That crap ruined it for me. We are at the 1 hour, 6 minute, 13-second mark. Kurt Angle is wrestling. Yes, I'm going to say it.
Eugene.
Eugene was a hell of a worker, man. Hell of a worker. All right. The August 20th, 2005 edition of The Torch.
Rock bottom.
A few weeks ago, this feud was limping along. Michaels was giving wishy-washy tweener promos. It felt as if Michaels was going to be a good trooper and play his role as the latest job to Hogan's leg drop. Then Hogan would move on to producing 6 more episodes of Hogan Knows Best for VH1, and Michaels would move on to another feud, able to redeem himself from the Hogan loss with a good match of promo and a strong next opponent. Then something happened along the way. Hogan took some potshots at Michaels during mainstream media interviews. Michaels got inspired and spoofed Hogan in a borderline heavy-handed way on Raw. It appeared things were going to be interesting come August 21st. Then they went face-to-face on Raw for a major segment that closed out the August 8th episode, and it appeared things were back to the usual routine, with Michaels cutting her traditional heel promo, Hogan cupping his ear and getting cheered. Michaels throwing a punch, Hogan blocking it, and knocking Michaels out of the ring. Michaels showed signs of being the bump machine whose job was to make Hogan look good, do the job, and just be happy to be getting his minority share of the main event pot of gold that Hogan so generously has shared with his opponents over the years. But as it turns out, that may not have been a sign of what's to come. It might have been Michaels showing Hogan what he can do for him, but at the same time, what he can take away. And Kurt Angle taps out Eugene. A great win for the 1996 Olympic gold medalist who won it with the broken freaking neck. Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle was so good, but man, it just blows my. Imagine what he could have been if he would have stayed in WWE, the launcher. And I love TNA Kurt Angle. Loved him.
Who is better than Kurt Angle at this time? In ring. Kurt Angle didn't have a peer.
Shawn Michaels?
That may have been it.
Other than that,
are
we saying WWE only, or are we saying everywhere? Like all over the world.
Say that one more time.
Are we saying just in the WWE, or are we saying all over the world?
WWE. We'll go the world.
If I remember correctly, Tanahashi was, doing this thing in Japan.
This was still young Tanahashi.
And it was still young Tanahashi, but still young Tanahashi was pretty damn good. I'm trying to think. Was Samoa Joe starting? He was a rookie at this time too, right? He makes Mike Chioda give him the medal.
This was great. God bless Kurt Angle. Getting booed out of the damn building. God bless you, Kurt Angle. God freaking bless you.
Nobody knew how to get a reaction better than Kurt Angle.
Absolutely.
Nobody.
Absolutely. Let's finish this. Up here is the last. Let's see. But as it turns out, that may not have been a sign of what's to come. It might have been Michael showing Hogan what he can do for him, but at the same time, what he can take away. In a sense, he gave Hogan a sample of the drug that can make Hogan feel really good. He doesn't have to give him any more, but Michaels gets to negotiate whether Hogan gets any more of that addictive drug. He can either decide to bump for him and make him look great or not. It's dependent on how Hogan acts in the days leading up to SummerSlam as they negotiate the content of the match and the finish. Michaels and Hogan were well into the hype for this feud, and no finish had been agreed to. Nothing even close to a finish had been agreed to, in fact. It's not unusual for Vince McMahon to allow that, since whenever two top names are staring each other down the behind the scenes, it keeps them occupied and motivated. When push comes to shove, McMahon can insert himself into the situation to play peacemaker and reach a compromise that suits everyone, including himself, of course. Now, you look at that there. I take that man, like the struggle here for power is real. Between the two top behind-the-scenes behind-the-scenes players in the game.
Politicians.
You got the top politician in Hulk Hogan, and Shawn Michaels is right behind him. And look at this segment. You're talking about Vinnie Mac getting those so beautiful girls.
McMahon for president.
How? Okay. Was Vince taking the Viagra that night?
Oh, how can you not? You look around the limousine. You start off with Tori Wilson, Maria Kanellis, Ashley. Then you keep going down. You end up with Stacy Longlegs Keebler.
Oh my God! All right, nobody finer.
Blue Chew.
Stacy Keebler.
We seriously need a sponsor by Blue Chew. Right here, right in the corner. We have our Walkway to Fight Club. Right here.
Oh, you're damn.
Put it on the other side on your end. Brought to you by Blue Chew.
It's just so amazing in this because you have, and here comes the Undertaker going ready to do battle with Randy Orton. The 1 hour, 12 minute, and 32 second mark. You know, the politics here, because you didn't know really who was going to win. Because you're thinking in your mind, Hogan's here for this and he's out. Michaels is still going to be there every week. And what and I remember years later being told, because I remember asking about this. I talked to someone very close to Hogan this was 2018. And I asked, when we were talking wrestling, I was out in Vegas for a show and he happened to be there. And they're just sitting there talking and I'm like, what? And somehow 05 came up with Michaels because he was like, what was one of your favorite Hogan matches? I'm like, one of those favorite last matches he had was with Shawn Michaels. I'm like, I thought that match was great. And Michaels did what he did, but I'm like, I just wish Hogan wouldn't have won. And the original idea was a best of 3 where Michaels would win here and then Hogan would win the last 2, which whatever was fine. It is what it is. And But the struggle for power between these very, very, very real. Which I still don't understand because both guys had nothing to be insecure about. At least in my... Or am I really just thinking too much there, Daryl?
No, I mean, it's like you mentioned before. Shawn Michaels was the one that was going to, have a feud afterwards. And stuff like that, it's... When you hear, all right, we're going to agree to the best out of 3 matches, and then leading up to SummerSlam, nope, we're going to scrap that. Back problems, only doing 1 match. Who's going over? I am. The guy that's going to end up after the match, leave. And this reminds me of when CM Punk was arguing with McMahon in that podcast that he did with Colt Cabana, where he was saying, okay, so you job me up to The Undertaker. He wins, he leaves, don't hear about it again. The Rock, he wins, he leaves, I'm back here again. And again with Brock Lesnar, he wins, he leaves, and then I'm still here. What's the purpose of that? You're going to have the part-time stars always come in, basically squash the talent that's going to be there, and then they had nothing to gain from that. And it's the age-old story of burial and backstage politics. And honestly, and if you're Shawn Michaels, what else do you do? There's nothing else you can do. So you do the shit show that you did and that we're about to see in about, what, an hour?
Oh, we're going to see it in a few minutes. We're going to see it in a few minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. No, you're exactly right. Look at Randy Orton here. What a stud. What a stud.
Still, is Randy, and let me ask you this, and this is just because he's on the screen right now. Do you consider Randy Orton one of the best top 4? You put him in your Mount Rushmore in WWE.
No.
Based
right
on
now?
talent. Based on
right
talent
now?
alone.
Right now, currently. Guys currently in there? Or of all time?
Currently. Not of all time. Of all time, we know he's not.
Look at Randy Orton. Such a slimy heel at this point. I love it. Right now, absolutely. Of all time, not even close.
No.
He doesn't even crack like my top 20. But in terms of currently, right now,
yeah.
Oh yeah. There's no doubt. No doubt about it. Okay. All right. This is what we're gonna do here. Gonna hit that old pause button. Okay. And we are gonna go. Not to you, John Bradshaw Layfield.
No love for the JBL.
Okay. All right. God, I don't know who I hate more than John Bradshaw Layfield.
You say you don't know?
Yeah.
I can think of a few names.
Just never been. I've never understood the Vince McMahon obsession with this guy. His mic work was good for like a minute. Like a hot minute. And after that, not so much. Then they got to that point he lost the title. It was like, okay, I have no utter use for you. You're a piece of crap. And here we go. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ready to go. Go to the WWE Network. Go to SummerSlam 2005. Click down. Beautiful, beautiful job here by WWE. The network is amazing. It says SummerSlam. Go to August 21, 2005. Click on that bad boy. And go to the 2-hour, 15-minute, and 28-second mark. The reason we are here. The immortal Hulk Hogan, the legend, versus the icon. Man, the first time, the only time. And think about that. And we lose Daryl Rivera. I think Daryl really just didn't want to do it. I'm not going to lie. But you just look at Michaels here. Just such a dick. Look at Hogan, 2005 Hall of Fame. The Hulkster in all his glory. Shawn Michaels, the greatest in-ring performer in the history of the WWE. One of the greatest of all time. Just amazing here how look at Hogan. It's Carlito and Kurt Angle. I could not get this tag match right. It was Carlito and Kurt Angle. Daryl was right. And here comes Hulk Hogan. Man, Carlito, I love that hair, by the way. Boom, there's the big boot, the big leg. And they get the win, Hogan and Shawn Michaels. Boom! Sweet. Chin. Music. Just that cold-blooded stare. Absolutely amazing. Love it. I love these old Hogan clips. You look at this here and super kicking Brett. Hey, there he is.
Sorry about that.
I kicked your ass up. As you should.
Kicked me out. Is that what happened? I thought I lost connection.
I kicked your ass out.
Oh, man.
No,
oh, well.
I am kidding. I am kidding. And then they we were talking about this promo earlier. But now, what was your favorite Hulkamania shirt? Was it the yellow and red NWO or this one, the red and yellow shirt?
The NWO, easily.
Good man.
I was always a bigger fan of NWO Hogan than any other type of Hogan.
You! God, Shawn Michaels makes everything look so easy.
Are we in the same mark? What mark are you at right now?
We are at 2:19. The 2-minute and 19-minute mark. 2-hour and 19-minute mark. We're here. This is a good promo package, by the way, too.
Oh, yeah. Summerslam 2005. Those promo packages all year were pretty good. The Batista Triple H ones were good. The Hogan Michaels.
2005, a very underrated year in wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, you brought up Batista and Triple H, that great series. You had this match. You had a really good WrestleMania.
The first ever Money in the Bank.
Edge puts himself on the map. Look at the crowd. They're ready. They are ready, They are ready, JR. Now, Terry, you're going over. Shawn, bump like hell, buddy.
He bumped like somebody threw spaghetti inside a freaking blender.
Don't say it yet. Don't say it. But look at Shawn Michaels here. He's looking. Now, see, the religious Shawn Michaels. Now, if this was that 1997 Shawn Michaels, he would have ate Hulk Hogan for lunch. But this was turned over a new leaf. He found religion. I like rewatch when I watch this match this morning. I still can't gauge like a look of like he's gonna make Hulk Hogan, how he's going to make Hulk Hogan here. Look at it. Look. I always love this about Shawn Michaels. He prance around. Give me the fireworks. Now, see, I don't like this. I used to love the fireworks behind the ring. Then he dance around and prance because he's a sexy boy. Sexy boy. I don't remember the rest of this. I'm not your boy toy. Boy toy. Think I'm hot. You know I'm sexy. I got the moves that make the girls wild. I know I'm cool. I know I'm awesome. I'm gonna kick Hulk Hogan's head to the Potomac. And I will do the J-O-B on the PPV. And then bury him the next night on Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, leave your dollar bills in the tip jar. I am Stephen Muehlhausen of DAZN and Sporting News. To the right, combat sports journalist Daryl Rivera. We are here. The reason we are 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 35 seconds in. We are here, the main event. The 15-year anniversary, SummerSlam 2005, the main event. 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 30 seconds. Shawn Michaels is standing in the ring, waiting. Here comes the immortal Hulk Hogan. Dun, 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 dun. When the stars crash down and it hurts inside. Dun, 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 dun. Why aren't you singing? My Lord, we're having some fun here.
Why would I sing when you're taking it away? Hey, take it away.
Look at the flag.
Hold on, I think I lost audio here.
I hear you. You're good.
There.
Look at Old Glory. Do you have a flag in front of your house?
I do not. Well, I live in an apartment, so.
Do your parents?
Yeah. It's a Bears flag.
Love it.
Go Bears.
I do Bears. Can we get to the NFL? And tomorrow, if you are a baseball fan, look at Hogan here staring at the fans. I'm going to take down your hero tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And then I'm going to go and continue shooting Hogan's Knows Best, which was a horrible reality show with my hot daughter, Brooke. Dude, love me some Brooke Hogan, though. Phew.
So did Bully Ray.
He sure did. To tell you stories. Ba-boom. And, what was I going to say? And Linda Hogan wasn't bad. You know, she got rid of Hulk Hogan and dated like someone who was like 19.
Did she really?
No, this was right after she divorced Hogan. The first relationship she was in after the divorce. And took like half his money. That poor Hogan. Poor guy. Didn't sign. Well, who's thinking of signing a prenup in like 1982?
Yeah.
Poor guy. You, Shawn Michaels, are going to be on your back looking at the ceiling, dude. Now, I know people are going to say, Steve, you're not a Hulk Hogan fan. I am still today, 39 years old, the world's biggest Hulk Hogan fan. But just knowing what I know now about the business, look at this here. What great way to start the match, Daryl. Get that heat, roll right out.
Oh.
Crowd's into it.
I just want to see himself. That's what I came to see here. That's what this match is known for.
Oh, we're in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. We are in for a damn treat. That is for sure. Oh, Hogan's like, get in the ring, brother. Now, you could see the look here on Shawn. And this is kind of where I noticed it when I was watching this earlier. It's like he's got that look of like, all right, buddy, I'm going to screw you around here. I'm gonna put on a one-man show for the ages.
Oh, man, that he did. We're gonna remember this match forever, and just because of one thing, and we're about to see.
I remembered it as soon as I remember. And I was telling you, I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, I'm like already 15-year anniversary. I'm like, we have to talk about this. This is the first time I have not seen this match in 15 years. I don't watch a lot of old wrestling. So the factor to it is, and now they're getting ready to lock up. We are at the 2-hour, 26-minute, and 30-second mark. Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, the main event of SummerSlam 2005 from the sold-out MCI Center in Washington, D.C. This was a good job here. I liked what they did here in getting the crowd in, getting that anticipation up more. They're circling each other, staring each other down. And they finally lock up.
Here goes the first one.
But not really. Not really. I've seen guys do that for Hogan.
All I'm saying is, look at Shawn Michaels. The entire match looked like he was annoyed. The entire time. I'll tell you this. He did make this match memorable. And that's what matters here.
I think most people are going to forget who won. Most people, maybe I got to imagine there's fans that do know. Yeah. But if you just look here, and they lock up once again. Ooh, a reversal from HBK Shizzle. Side headlock. I always love, for the first 5 to 10 minutes, the bandana always stays on.
He loses.
Love it. I love it. Love it. Do not show that male pattern baldness, brother. But he's freaking Hulk Hogan. Who cares? Look at that. Look at that right there.
And there goes the bandana.
Took the bump. Did another tumble to the outside. Hogan throws the bandana at Michaels. Beautiful. Bumping 101. You want to get someone over and you can have fun with it at the same time? Here you freaking go.
Do you call this match getting him over, or do you call it Michaels just shitting all over it?
Can you say that again? I want to make sure I heard it right.
Do you call this Michaels getting Hogan over, or do you calling Michaels taking a crap all over it and just saying, you know what? I'm just going to crap it. It is what it is.
I think it's a little bit of the latter.
I think it's more of the latter.
And I think the majority of it is to prove a point to Hulk Hogan. Yeah. That he could have made him look amazing, or he could have made him look like horse shit. No, I've seen Hogan. Flair's done this for Hogan. I'm not.
The flip, but
there. If you want to have more babies, do not do that. And the right hand by the Hulkster. But Michaels could, I think it's. But Michaels is also a professional. You got to look at it as, the majority of this match, he made Hogan look really good.
Yeah.
But it was some over-the-top chicanery.
It literally looks like somebody threw a squid in a freaking drying machine.
Shawn Michaels threw a mean chop.
Oh, yeah.
A very underrated guy in the chop game. I still would not want to take one. Would you be willing, even with Ric Flair being 71 years old, would you take a chop from Ric Flair?
Hell no.
Look at that. Now right there. Holy cow. Clothesline over the top. Does a double. It tumbles all around. Holy.
We got it.
Now,
I got to look up to see if Hogan ever talked about this match now, like in the last couple of years, because I need to hear what he thought.
we're going to talk. Oh, we're going to talk about it. I promise. We will talk about it. No, buddy. Don't put your hands in there. No. Hi, dude. You come by Dada? You come by Dada? Oh, you're going to go by Ethan? Okay. You go play. Bye-bye. Stephen Muehlhausen here, along from Sporting News and his own, along with combat sports journalist Daryl Rivera. We are at the 2 hour, 32 minute, and 25-second mark of the SummerSlam 2005 main event. The first time and the only time Shawn Michaels meets Hulk Hogan. Look at that chop. That's a nasty chop. Come here, son. Watch.
Who, in your opinion, has the best chop in the game?
Oh, dude,
not today, but like a walk.
Say hi, Daryl. Say Ric Flair. Woo! You see it right there?
Give it a woo. Give it a woo.
No, brother. Oh, he's no selling. All right, you go play. Yeah, you'll be done in a few minutes. Ooh.
You know what? I'm a big fan. A slap in the face. I'm a big fan of that move. Massive.
Where are you at, by the way?
I think I am at 233.24.
Okay, no, we're at the same place. Okay.
All right, cool.
He'll Ric Flair over the turnbuckle. And nothing wrong with it. I always. What did you call it earlier? Spaghetti what? Say it again.
Spaghetti in a blender or squid in a washing machine.
Squid in the washing machine. That is the one. We're going to use it. Like a squid in a washing machine. That is a good one. Oh, my goodness. I just feel... No, I don't feel bad.
No, I don't.
But both
this
guys...
is entertaining. This match was entertaining.
Both guys had to know what they were getting into with this program. Yeah, you're going to make a crap ton of money. But you're going to go through hell to get that money.
Yeah.
In all honesty. And that's not trying to disparage neither guy here. But both guys are master politicians. Come on. It's comical. He bumps.
A regular just punch in the face. 5 flips and then outside of the ring.
Hogan should have gave him like 10% of his money as payoff. Oh my God, that was so bad. Hogan into the turnbuckle. I thought Hogan was going to bleed there.
think he did.
Shockingly, Hogan did not blade at that spot. I was really expecting a blade job.
Just give it a minute. And
yeah, Hogan, really a little bit of a fumble there by Hogan. Hogan got lost.
Yep.
Michaels punching right in the spot where Hogan should get busted open. And let's see here. No. You think after all these years, Hulk Hogan would have learned how to bleed?
Yeah. Especially for somebody that did it as often as he did.
Yeah. Poor Shawn Michaels. Because Hogan really was Hogan should know what he should be doing at this point.
So it's like, you want me to cut you in?
And Michaels is trying so hard here. You can see he keeps going to that spot. Watching him punch, he's punching in the same spot. Just don't think Hogan did it. Hogan didn't do it right.
Yeah.
Because look at it. It's the same spot. I wonder if Michael said to him, give me the damn blade.
Just give it to me. I'll fucking do it.
Now, the way guys used to do it, and thank you for all the likes, everyone, for everyone watching. If you're watching on Facebook Live, like the video.
There it is.
Like the post. There's the blood. It only took Terry about 6 minutes. There you go, Terry. I mean, it's a gusher, too, though. I will admit, Hulk Hogan's a top 5 all-time bleeder.
Oh, yeah.
When he bled, he bled. The greatest was Ric Flair.
Easily.
No doubt about that.
That
Ric
bleach,
Flair is...
that blonde hair just goes completely red.
Okay. Where was I? If you're watching on via Facebook Live, like the video, give any separate reaction you want to the video. Thumbs up, heart, that you love it, thumbs down, anything you want to do. Ha woohoo. Also follow the page and like the page as well, the Walkway to Fight Club. And follow us on Twitter at Walkway Fight. If you are watching via YouTube, because we're also live on YouTube this evening, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well. Stephen Muehlhausen here at DAZN and Sporting News, along with Daryl Rivera. Man, I gotta tell DAZN, we gotta we got MLW now, but we gotta start doing some I'm gonna pitch MLW watch-alongs.
I wouldn't mind it.
I'm gonna see what they say.
There's a LA Park versus on
DAZN?
No, I saw this one live.
Okay.
But it was recorded, so it should be on the cell. It should be on the library.
It's not
Jacob
all,
Batu.
We don't have all of the content on there yet. I know there's supposed to be some more added shortly.
Well, this one I think was the first pay-per-view they had.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was Fatu versus LA Park, and it was just insane. I never seen a big man move as fast as he did.
I would just love to do. Hopefully, I think that's something I'm going to pitch, actually. As I'm sitting here thinking about it now. But look at the blood. Oh, my God. Look at the blood. Yowzers. And don't forget, the audio version of this will be available on Friday morning. It'll be available on all your favorite podcasting platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Anchor, Overcast, and whatever else you guys listen to for your audio and podcasting.
Except for Stitcher.
You're trying to get me mad. Not going to happen.
You told me you wanted me to get you mad. I'm doing my thing here.
As it says in the scroll, SummerSlam 2005, the Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels watch along, and there's the back suplex by the Hulkster. You know, I told my son.
And Shawn Michaels just tells it like he just got hit by a car.
Look at all that blood on Michaels. Good Lord. Look at all that blood. I told my son, I'm like, he goes, we're not going outside today? I'm like, no. I'm like, I got work to do. And he's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, we're going to be in the basement. I'm like, and you get to go to bed later. He was all mad until I said that to him. Like, you get to go to bed later. Get to go to bed later, man. He's usually in 8:30, in between 8:30 8:45. Oh, and there's the flying forearm and the nip up from HBK. SummerSlam 2005. We're at the 2-hour, 40-minute, and 40-second mark. Shawn Michaels just hit the flying forearm on Hulk Hogan, going to the top. A bloody Hulk Hogan getting ready to go for the top rope elbow drop. Where would you rate Shawn Michaels' elbow drop of all time?
Put it, you know what?
Oh, he missed it. I've never seen Shawn Michaels miss it. Go ahead. I had to say that. Number 2. He's hulking up, brother. Boom. 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 Here you go again, Shawn Michaels. Earl Hebner. No, Earl Hebner was fired. He got fired in July of the month before this match. Because I imagine Earl Hebner would have been the referee of this main event. Selling WWE merchandise without proper authorization. He got fired in I think it was 2 weeks later, his brother, Dave, got fired as well. Michaels hit the forearm. Who's the referee? Is it Kyoto? I couldn't see who.
I think it might have been Kyoto, yeah.
It grazed Hogan. Look at Michaels. He's going to go over the elbow. He's like, no. Look at this. Oh, I love it. Cocky Shawn Michaels is the absolute greatest. Oh, here we go. He's going for the sharpshooter. At the time, his bitter rival, Bret Hart. Look at the laugh. The laugh is great. The laugh is way too much. Who is that? Who's the referee here? Referee just went into the ring. Chad Patton. Good old Chad Patton, who made a horrible call earlier in the evening with Edge and Matt Hardy, calling that match. What was wrong with you, Chad? Match should have kept going. Match went like 5 minutes. Absolutely terrible.
A blow-off match like that should have gone at least 12 minutes.
It was the first match of the program. It should have gone like 15, 20.
Easily. And it should have been it was a decisive win. Mm-hmm. Kick to the head. Hardy had no reason to go back at it again.
Leave any questions or comments. Leave them in the comment section. They will get answered. Hogan's like, no, brother. No, brother Chad. I'm not doing the job tonight. But I will buy the beers after the match. And Hogan reaches her.
If you think I'm doing a job tonight, you clearly don't know the Hulkster.
The only job I'm doing, dude, is I'm going to buy the brewskis.
If that.
I remember talking. No, it's true. I did an interview with Kevin Nash. And there goes Chad Patton. 2 referees are down, Daryl.
Can we talk about how in 2005 the referees were made of glass? A gust of wind would have knocked out Mike Chioda at any given moment in 2005.
This is fantastic.
Ow.
The blood. God, this is an all-time good blade job here. It took Hogan forever to get the blade done right, but Hogan finally got it right.
I'm pretty sure Michaels is the one that did it for him, though.
I don't know. I would think. Hogan limping. Oh, the low blow from HB Shizzle.
Right in the marbles.
God. Well, Hogan was too old to have children by that time anyway. Here comes the steel chair. It's never good news. Never good news, Daryl, when you bring in the steel chair. I promise.
Depends on who you ask.
Michaels is saying good. And he's a lefty. That's one thing I didn't like about Shawn Michaels. He was a lefty.
What's wrong being a lefty?
Be a baseball player. Or a golfer. That's where the money's at, man. Not in wrestling. As much as I love wrestling. Let's see. It's going to turn around. Ooh, here we go. Oh, my God. Did he hit him?
No.
That was awful.
He messed up by a whole feet.
Hogan, like, ducked his head. Take the
He missed him by a
shot. And the elbow drop from HB Shizzle. It's over. That's all that's left to tune up the band. God, I am so mad right now. How do you miss that chair? And it's not Shawn Michaels' fault. Hogan ducked his damn head.
And then sold it like he was getting electrocuted. That's the one song I never got. I never got the shaking. The shaking as if you're having like a massive stroke in the ring. Never got that.
The band is tuning up. It is time for some sweet chin music and to finish off the Hulkster. Boom! There's the pin. Come on, Chad Patton. 1, 2, and Michaels is going to win. Oh, no. Oh, here we go. He's hulking up, brother. Dude. Michaels like, come on, MFer. Come on, Terry. Speed it up, dude. But the crowd, look at the crowd. The crowd is so damn jacked up for this. The crowd is eating this shit alive. They love it. That is what a bump by Shawn Michaels. What a freaking dick. I love it. Love it. My time. All that time Hogan took the pose. And the match is over. And the winner and the crowd going crazy. The immortal Hulk Hogan. And the crowd is eating that up. The match is over. A little under 25 minutes. Hogan sat there and posed like a schmuck before dropping that leg. I would have been pissed. Michaels is out of the ring.
Michaels is already backstage. He's like, I'm done.
Now, I'm, the 24-year-old or old person in me at this time thinking, all right, we're going to see this again. Hogan's going to be back. Because you want to think that, because you don't think there's not clarity here.
Yeah.
There's the posing. Uh-oh. Here comes HBK. Pushes Hogan. I did the job for you tonight, brother. But you're going to do the job for me next. Staring each other down here. Gushing blood. He stuck out his hand. What a great sportsman that Shawn Michaels is. He needed to know. That's not being a man, JR. I would have kicked him again.
Yeah, kick him right in the balls. After that pose, yeah.
had to know, and I found out tonight.
Hmm?
Poor Shawn Michaels here. He had to shake his hand. I wouldn't have shaken his hand.
I would have gone straight backstage.
Now, is Hogan sitting there posing? Hogan doing what Hogan does best. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to see if I get this in the right spot here. Hogan doing what Hogan does best. He poses. Let's see. I'm trying to get to the right spot here. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. August 27th edition, 27th, 2005 edition of The Torch. Shawn Michaels took a bad situation and made the best of it. With less than a week to go before the pay-per-view, sources say he was so frustrated with his good faith negotiations with Hulk Hogan behind the scenes that he was considering insisting on a DQ finish to the match. He had reached a point that he didn't want to job to Hogan under any circumstances. Hogan, though, apparently had creative control, in quotes, written into his WWE deal, so he got to call the shots. He wanted to win with a leg drop clean, and thus that's the way it was going to be. Before we go any further, I hate that creative control nonsense. Do you? Or do you think, Daryl, that guys near that level of Hogan should get something written like that into their deal?
Well, I hate it and I like it. I like it because it gives creative control. Like Daniel Bryan has creative control, and he's used it the right way. It just depends on who the talent is. Somebody like Hogan, whose backstage politics that are very noted, a lot of people know about it. They know what it's like. Yeah, I get it. But then you give it to somebody like Daniel Bryan, who's used it to put over everybody. Like he got Drew Gulak to get, he put over Drew Gulak. He made him a star. He got him a contract, and it's stuff like that. It just depends on who the superstar is. At the same time, like you give it to somebody like Hogan, guess what? He ain't losing. He needs to get paid, brother.
My whole thing with this is, and thank you for everyone that did watch, and this is, now we're going over, we just finished watching, we're going over the aftermath of this match and what happened during the days leading up to the match and the aftermath that did happen of the match between Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan. Nice comment there. You guys have no views. Haha. Oh man, we do. I'm looking right at them right now, but okay, thanks. You're very welcome. Thanks. Thank you for watching. I like when people say that and they're the ones watching. But you go and I totally lost my train of thought there. I never usually do that. But I hate that clause. I hate that talent is even. I don't even care if it's Hulk Hogan. I don't care if it's Shawn Michaels or whoever. I just don't think I don't think talent should have that written into their contract. Because then you get stuff like this happening, and then look at what happens. Hogan can leave the next day. Hogan doesn't even have to appear on Raw. It's adios, see you later. I'm going to get my payoff, and see you whenever. I hate that. And you think about it, Hulk Hogan did not come back until he came back for the Raw Homecoming show in October. Falsely promoted a match with Steve Austin. Then didn't come back until the Hall of Fame ceremony for WrestleMania 22 here in Chicago. Very tense situations with Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan, with Bret Hart and Steve Austin. So it's just I just don't get the whole thing with Hogan. I just had creative control. I didn't really. I took it as him being insecure, using every bit of leverage he had, and the fact Vince McMahon gave it to him was still quite shocking.
Yeah,
he just never been a fan of it. Okay, we'll keep going here. From the Torch in Wade Keller. When Michaels accepted the match in the first place, he had never worked with Hogan before. Friends warned him, saying Hogan was going to get what he wanted and that it was a mistake to not work out a finish ahead of time before agreeing to the match. Michaels figured he could play hardball too. In the end, he couldn't. The details aren't known, but ultimately Michaels was convinced by Vince McMahon that he basically had to do the match Hogan's way. And here's what I knew when we brought it up earlier. Michaels had proposed a second match next month, and it was considered. It would allow both men to get 2 big paydays. Michaels also figured that that would be a way for them to go 1-1 against each other. However, when Hogan talked about a second match, he talked about winning that one too. The second match discussed was a cage match, the one with the blue bars where the winner is the first to escape. Hogan proposed he beat Michaels at SummerSlam, and he beat him in the follow-up cage match by crawling out of the ring before Michaels climbed over the top and dropped to the floor in a bloodbath. Michaels didn't go for that, so they went back to the original plan of just one match. Michaels had to go with plan B, which was doing a clean job to Hogan, but being so effective at making Hogan look so good and single-handedly turning it into a great match that nobody would talk about the finish. They talk about how much of a miracle worker Michaels was. He played a strong heel during the match, using a low blow at one point to gain advantage. The match lasted over 20 minutes, almost unheard of for a Hogan match, and Hogan bled heavily during it. Those may have been the 2 negotiating points Michael won. If he was going to do the job, he wanted the match to be special, and he wanted to bleed Hogan into bloody oblivion before losing. After the match, there's more. Oh, this is awesome. It gets better here, ladies and gentlemen, I promise. After the match, Michael shoved Hogan from behind and then offered a handshake. He told Hogan he just needed to find out for himself. It wasn't clear what that meant. In reality, it probably meant a lot of things. He wanted to find out for himself what it was like to work with Hogan in the ring, what it was like to work with Hogan behind the scenes, what it was like to lay down for the leg drop, whether he could create a classic match with Hogan. The public may never know the extent to which the 2 butted heads behind the scenes during negotiations, unless Michaels includes it in his upcoming autobiography. Michaels, though, got revenge the next night. He came out with a smile on his face and accepted the cheers of the fans. He said, as much as it hurt to admit it, Hogan was the better man, in quotes, the night before. Then the promo took a strange turn. He began to mock Hogan, sarcastically saying Hogan was, in quotes, cat-like and nimble. He said not even he could figure out his catch-as-can style. I mean, his ring prowess was in so many ways and on so many levels superior to mine that I simply could not compete. Michaels continued. When it was over, even I, the evil Shawn Michaels, found out the victim, like so many before me, to the vicious leg drop. 1, 2, 3. The crowd didn't know how to react. Some fans booed and cheered, but most sat in silence. The crowd then began a small chant of Hogan, Hogan. Michaels continued. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming and back to reality. The reality is this. Hulk Hogan is now on a jet back to Florida until you, the WWE fan, can give him what he wants. He did a money signal by rubbing his thumb and fingers against each other. I, Shawn Michaels, am here tonight to give you exactly what you want, the showstopper. Michaels then shifted gears into an angle of Chris Masters. He will go on, as he said, wrestling each week for WWE. Hogan, meanwhile, is gone until the next time he and WWE can find a reason to work together. A lot to digest there.
A lot. Can we get a picture of a shovel somewhere in here?
He buried his ass.
Yeah.
I watched the promo when I was eating dinner. And hot damn did he bury Shawn Michaels. He buried Hulk Hogan. You know, I talked to guys that have worked with Hogan. And they've said pretty much honor to be in the ring with him. But didn't like a lot of the parameters that went along with working with him. You know,
sounds about right.
Guys did it for the money. They knew you work with Hogan, it was a money match. You were going to make some money back at that time. And that's what happened. You know, and Shawn had to know what he was getting into. Shawn Michaels found out the hard way.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. What else we got here? Okay, we We talked about Matt Hardy. Let's see. And that is really it. But wow, that match. What did you think of the match before we exit out?
I mean, it was entertaining. Like I said, it's a memorable match based on Michael selling the hell out of Hulk Hogan. It was entertaining. It was nostalgic for, my dad loved it just because he was a big fan of Hulk Hogan. And it's something you get. It's a nostalgia match that you got. You knew you weren't going to get a classic out of Hulk Hogan at what? He was probably like mid-50s at that point.
52.
52. He was 52 at that point. You weren't going to get a classic even with Shawn Michaels being there. So I took it for what it was. It was an entertaining, nostalgic match. And the fact that Shawn Michaels literally sold the way that he did made it even more entertaining. I was laughing my ass off the entire time.
No. It was a good match. You got to, Shawn Michaels put on the literal one-man show. He wrestled a very immobile broomstick. Yeah. No, oh no, brother.
Worst chair shot I've ever seen.
I wonder if he gave him. Yeah. I wonder if he gave. Did Ethan give you a chair shot? I think he did. Come here, partner. Come here. You just want your dog. That's okay. There you go. Oh, don't cry now. Oh, don't cry. You say hi to Daryl. But no, you got to look at it as, at the end of the day, he got to be in the ring with Hulk Hogan. He put on the proverbial one-man show against Hulk Hogan. He made Hulk Hogan have that really true one final great match. Because that was the last great match we ever seen out of Hulk Hogan. Truth. Plain and simple. He had an unforgettable match. Yep, right? An unforgettable match with Randy Orton. That was his final match in WWE.
Yep.
Because I needed that one match in TNA with Sting in a tag match. Did the Australian tour at Ric Flair. He only did the one match in TNA Impact. And that was it. So Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels gave Hulk Hogan that one great final match. Hulk Hogan should be given a big fat thank you to Shawn Michaels. Instead of burying Shawn Michaels. Not burying him, but you could have gotten 2 more matches out of that series. Okay, Hogan goes over, so be it, but you get 3 big money generating matches. Each guy makes a buck ton of money. And the WWE makes a lot of money. And you know what the most important thing is? The fans get highly entertained.
Yep.
Instead, we get a one-match series, and the fans get left out in the cold, and the fans get disappointed because Hulk Hogan had to play Power Control. And that was quite unfortunate but I do remember that being Hulk Hogan's last great match, and for that, I salute it. Because it wasn't the greatest match of all time, but it was damn good. And that's a testament to Shawn Michaels at the end of the day. Any final thoughts, Daryl, before we hit the siesta button for the evening?
Always forget that how underrated the SummerSlam is. Always had great matches. Shawn Michaels selling is awesome. Loving this on this day stuff. Looking forward to doing more.
Absolutely. And this was a ton of fun. Loved it. You can watch as the replays are going to be all over YouTube. It'll be on our Facebook page. If you're watching on Facebook Live, just like the video, like the post, follow the Walkway to Fight Club on Facebook, facebook.com. I know, right? Follow. Because the baby says so. Facebook.com/the Walkway to Fight Club. Just click that like button. Click the follow button. We greatly appreciate it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Walkway Fight. You can also follow us on Instagram, Walkway to Fight Club, all in lowercase letters. If you watched on YouTube, just subscribe to the channel and also like the video. According to Sire Extreme, no one watched the video. I kind of find it hard to believe because we were getting views in and out the entire time. So
don't forget, people in the comment section know more than we do, apparently.
They do. I always got to listen to them. I got to listen to the people. But tomorrow we will have, and the audio will be up for this tomorrow. And if you want to listen to the audio, you were not able to listen tonight, you can listen on either iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor, Overcast, or your favorite podcasting platform, whatever platform you do listen to. And also, the video will be up tomorrow for NXT TakeOver 30 predictions. We did those last night. A surprising thing happened in those predictions. I will not spoil it for you. And then Sunday morning, we will have our SummerSlam preview. Sunday morning, it will be live, 11 Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. And then we will have a SummerSlam review show. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton for the WWE title, and Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, the Fiend Bray Wyatt for the Universal title. And we said earlier, Rey Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio against Seth Rollins. Daryl, where can the fans find you on the Twitter machine?
On the Twitter machine, it's right here, DY21. And then on Instagram, I am behind the page, The Walk With a Fight Club, as my counterpart. It's the opposite way on my end. Like if I point this way, it's like the wrong. So this way, okay. This guy. So follow us on Twitter. Click follow, subscribe. I think we already hit 1,000 on Facebook. Let's keep it there.
Let's keep it there. Yes, over 1,000. Thank you, everybody, for doing that. It's greatly appreciated. You can find me on Twitter at @SMuehlhausenJR, and you can also find me on watch out there. You can also find me on Instagram, @MuehlhausenMMA. For the handsomest man in the room, Daryl Rivera, I am Steven Muehlhausen, and we will talk to you guys next time.